Thursday afternoon, April 20th, 2023. Baseball records covering Hall of Fame players, and I'm ranking them. 169 of them. Ty Cobb was number one at 366. This episode, we're on number 146. Ernie Banks, 274 career batting average. His high for a season, 313. Now, Ernie was a power hitter. I've got him here in this book. Ernie Banks. Which book am I talking about? Baseball Hall of Fame Almanac. Ernie has 512 homers, 1,636 RBIs. So that was his focus. But he did play 2,500 games and he got 2,500 hits. So consistency, one hit a game average. I'm disappointed, though, that his batting average is 274. He looks like a 300 hitter to me. And let's see, 2,500 games. He's Hall of Fame, yes. 2,500 hits. I would like to have seen him get 3,000 hits. He would have the combination of 500 homers and 3,000 hits and a 300 batting average. That's what Ernie Banks looks like to me, but I like him. Let's play two, right? 147 on the list. Phil Rizzuto. Phil Rizzuto. I've got him here. Let's look at his career. 273 lifetime. Only 1,600 games. And he gets about 1,588 in hits. His high, 324. So he's able to bat 300. The 273 is too low for me on Phil. 148 on the list. Gil Hodges. Let's look at Gil. Gil Hodges. Played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. I've got him here. Let's see what his career average. 273, too low. But he was a power guy, 370 homers, 1,200 RBIs. He plays 2,000 games, gets about 1,900 hits. So he's below the one hit per game. Is he Hall of Fame for you, Gil Hodges? He had a high. Had a couple 300 batting seasons. Not really an average guy. 273, too low for me on Hodges. But if you ask the ball players that he played with the Brooklyn Dodgers and the LA Dodgers, played in 1940s, 47 he started, and then in those years in 1950, you ask, do they like Hodges on their team? Yes, they would say it. Is he Hall of Famer? Borderline for me. But he made it. 149 on the list. Bid McPhee. 272 lifetime batting average. So I'm covering Hall of Fame players only, if you're wondering. 2,000 games, about 2,200 hits. So he averaged more than a hit a game. Only 53 career home runs. Not enough. He never had a 200 hit season. Is he Hall of Fame material? Well, played what? 1880s and the 1890s. So back then he got Hall of Fame consideration. 2,200 hits. I guess in that era, he would be considered one of the better quality players. So that's how he got in. 150 on the list. Joe Morgan. Cincinnati Reds. Won 2 MVPs. Would you consider Joe Morgan Hall of Fame? I do. Why? I'll tell you why. 2,500 career hits. That's the threshold for me. You get over the 2,500, that's a career. He had 2,600 games. I don't like the low batting average for Joe Morgan, 271. He walked a lot. Never got 200 hits in a season. And you know what? Joe Morgan did have a 327 one year, but the two MVPs did it. Valuable player. If you get that award, you deserve the Hall of Fame. He got two of them. And I like the 2,500 hits, but I think Joe Morgan, if I look at him, he looks like a 300 batting average player, don't you? Batting left-handed, he can run. He had a lot of stolen bases. 689 stolen bases. Why did he end up 271? He walked a lot. A little disappointed with Joe Morgan's career batting average, but he is Hall of Fame. 151, Eddie Matthews. Eddie Matthews played along with Aaron, Milwaukee Braves, 50s, 60s. 512 homers for Eddie. 2,300 hits in about 2,300 games. So he's about a hit a game. 1,400 RBIs. What did it for him for the Hall of Fame was the 512 homers. If you slug that, you deserve the Hall. But the 271 is too low. 152 on the list, Willie McCovey. Here's another slugger. You like sluggers? Yes, I do. I like them. 521 homers, but his career batting average is 270. Listen to this. He played almost 2,600 games, yet only had 2,200 hits. So he's not going for the singles. He's not a singles hitter. He's a slugger. Doubles, 350. Triples, 46. But the home runs and the RBI. He got 1,555 RBIs. Yes, Willie McCovey, Hall of Fame. 153 on the list, Johnny Evers. 270 career batting average. He had a high. Oh, as far as McCovey, I forgot to mention. He had a 354 batting average one year. So he has the capacity to bat 300, but he didn't go for that. He went for the homers. So he belted 521. I remember watching him on TV in the 60s. Him and Mays, the Giants were playing the Dodgers. And he would take that long swing. And when that ball went over the fence, fans loved it. Yes, Johnny Evers, number 153 on the list. Oh, this guy. How does this guy make the Hall of Fame? He plays 1,700 games and gets 1,600 hits. Bats 270. Never gets over 200 hits. And his high, well, he had a 341 in 143 games, 1912. He batted in the 1910s and 12s. So again, he's a player that he's compared to the other players of the era. He gets the Hall of Fame consideration, but with only 1,700 hits, I don't know about this one. Johnny Evers, 154 on the list. Pee Wee Reese, 269 career batting average. He had a 309 was his high. Is he Hall of Fame? You consider Pee Wee Reese to be a Hall of Famer? He played in the era with Jackie Robinson on the Dodgers, right? Reese, here he is. 2,100 games, 2,100 hits. So on hit a game, never got the 200 hits. His high was a 309. Gets a good shortstop for the Dodgers during the 40s and 50s. Is he Hall of Fame to you, Pee Wee Reese? 269 career. He's 5'10", weighs 160. He should have been closer to 300 batting average. He got in, though, because it depends on when you're playing as far as how you get in the Hall of Fame. I think that really matters. When the writers, they're looking at the players on the field, and they look at Pee Wee Reese, he's shortstop for the Dodgers. Doesn't have the greatest numbers. He did get 2,000 hits, but it's only 2,100 hits. My threshold is 2,500. 155 on the list, Carlton Fisk. Is he Hall of Fame player to you, Fisk? What did he do to merit? He's a catcher, right? I'll tell you what he did. Played in 2,500 games and gets 2356 in hits. He had 376 homers, but the 269 is way too low. He did have a 331 one year. He's got the home run in the World Series. Did that alone get him into the Hall? I don't know. 2,300 hits, 269? I don't know about this Hall of Fame. 156, Joe Gordon. Is Hall of Fame only hitting? Well, it's all around. I guess it's the defense. I guess it's the homers, the RBIs, the batting average. How else do you look at Hall of Fame? Is it just your talent? Is it because Fisk played all those years and got all the catching? That's how he got in? I guess the writers liked him. I'm not going to quarrel, say whether they should be in or not, but I do question on the stats getting them in, because there's other guys that have better stats. I mentioned that in my last video. Come on, Steve Garvey, why is he in? How about Mattingly? Bill Buckner. Buckner had 2,800 hits. Johnny Damon, he had over 2,500 hits. 2,700 hits, I think he had. How about Todd Helton? He had I think he was a 313 lifetime batting average for Helton. He's not in. Yet a guy like Fisk at 269 gets in. All right, I'll keep going. Joe Gordon, 156 on the list. 268 lifetime. 1,500 games, 1,900 hits, and he gets in. Never had 200 hits in the season, did have a 322, yet he gets in. 157 on the list. Bobby Wallace. 268 lifetime batting average. I'm a 300, or I like guys with 300 or better batting average. So when I'm dealing with these guys with 260s, Bobby Wallace, 2,300 games, 2,300 hits. Never had 200 hits in a season, and his high, he had a 335. He got in. Did you know that Bobby Wallace only had 34 career home runs, yet he makes the Hall of Fame? 158 on the list. This guy is Hall of Fame. Johnny Bench. Why? He has a 267 career batting average. Johnny Bench. So that's low. But if you look at Johnny Bench, he's a catcher, right? Cincinnati Reds. He belts 389 homers and has almost 1,400 RBIs. He did have a 309 one year. Johnny Bench, 2,100 games, 2,000 hits. But do you consider Johnny Bench a Hall of Fame? You got to look at it because of the defense. So, like I said, it's not just the stats on the hitting that gets writers to vote for these guys in the Hall of Fame. It's also looking at the quality of the guy on the team. And if you look at Bench and the guys on the Cincinnati Reds, they say, oh, Johnny on our team, yes, how valuable. 1 year, listen to this, he had, as a catcher, he had 45 home runs and 148 RBIs and batted .293. So that's Hall of Fame stats right there. 389 homers. I'd like to have seen him get 400 homers. Yeah, Johnny Bench, Hall of Fame. 159 on the list. This guy's Hall of Fame too, even though the batting average is low. Mike Schmidt, 267. If you look at Mike Schmidt, what do you think about? You think of home runs. And he hit 4 home runs in one game. How about that? How many guys can lay that claim? Not that many. Maybe in the history of baseball, 20,000 players. How many guys have hit 4 in a game? I think it's about 20 or 25. I don't know the exact number. But if you think of Mike Schmidt, what do you think? He's played 2,400 games, 2,200 hits. You think home runs. And listen, 548 of them. And he has 1,595 RBIs. Yes, that's Hall of Fame right there. The 500 homers and the 1,500 RBIs. 267, I would like, if Mike Schmidt could have batted 300 for his career, I would be impressed even more. But he didn't go for the singles. He wanted to go for the homers, right? Listen to this. I mean, I think he had 7 or 8 home run titles, right? Listen to this. Home runs 36, 38, 38, 38, 21, 45, 48, 31, 35, 40, 36, 33, and another 35. He's a home run slugger. Yeah, Hall of Fame. 160 on the list. Brooks Robinson. Again, another guy, low batting average career, 267. He did have a 317, so he's capable of batting 300. Why does he end up 267? That's what I would ask Brooks Robinson. Why is the batting average so low? Well, he plays, listen to this, 2,896 games, all with the Baltimore Orioles. I like that. And he gets 2,848 hits. Yes, Hall of Fame. You're over the 2,500 mark. That is my criteria. 2,848 hits. I like that, but I do not like 267 career batting average. He did hit 268 homers, 1,300 RBIs. Yeah, Brooks Robinson, take him, Hall of Fame. Third base, the vacuum cleaner. 161 on the list. Reggie Jackson. 262 career batting average. That gets me. But he plays 2,800 games and gets 2,500 hits. So he's over that threshold. And he's got 563 homers and 1,702 RBIs. Reggie Jackson, yes, Hall of Fame. But low batting average. He has a lot of strikeouts. A lot of other guys got strikeouts too, and they make the Hall. Babe Ruth struck out a lot. But you got to take him. Reggie Jackson, 262. Wasn't going for the singles. He was going for the homers. 162 on the list. Luis Aparicio, 262 career. Shortstop, right? Played for the White Sox, 1950s, 60s. 2,599 games. And listen to this. 2,677 hits. Yes, Hall of Fame. Only 83 career homers, 262 career. His high was a 313. Yes, I take Luis Aparicio, Hall of Fame. 163 on the list. Ozzie Smith, shortstop, Cardinals. Is he Hall of Fame to you? I don't like the 262 career batting average, but listen to this, 2,500 games, 2,460 hits. He's close to the 2,500 hits, yes. You're close to that number, you should get Hall of Fame consideration. His high, a 303. Never had 200 hits in a season, but Ozzie Smith, the wizard at shortstop, I guess you're looking at defense too. All his gold gloves, that's how he gets in. I'd put him in. 164 on the list, Joe Tinker. 262 career batting average. Too low. Tinker. Played in the 1900s, 1910s. 1,800 games, 1,700 hits. Never had 200 hits in the season, and his high was 317. Doesn't have Hall of Fame numbers. How does he get in? Because of the era. The 1900s and the 1910. They look at Tinker, and they say, this guy was a double Blake combination. Tinkers to Evers to Chance. Is that it? Evers, Tinkers to Chance. But he doesn't have the Hall of Fame numbers to me, but he got in. 165. Gary Carter, catcher. Is Gary Carter a Hall of Famer to you? Let's look at his numbers. He was a catcher. In fact, I wrote a book on catching or defense. Gary Carter, to me, was rated the #1 catcher of all time, according to the matchups. You have Bench, and I know Rodriguez, and some of the other guys, Campanella and Berra. But as far as the quality of catching, Gary Carter is right up there. 2,200 games, 2,000 hits, not enough. Slugged 324 homers, 1,200 RBIs, 262. Never had 200 hits, and his high was a 292. Never batted 300. Gary Carter, in a full season, never had a 300. He had a 294 as high. Do you consider Gary Carter Hall of Fame? I guess they're looking at the defense on that one as far as his toughness behind the plate. 2,000 hits. Borderline for me on that one. But I liked him though. I like Gary Carter. 166 on the list. Rabbit Marinville. 258 career. Marinville. Rabbit. What? Who came up with the name Rabbit? All right. You want to hear his numbers? 2,600 games, 2,600 hits. Yes, you passed the 2,500 hits, you're Hall of Fame. He only hit 28 career homers. He has a 258 career batting average. Yet the 2,600 hits got him in. Take him. I'd take him. 167 on the list. Bill Mazeroski. You guys are going to be mad at me when I talk about him. Bill Mazeroski. You're not going to like what I'm going to say about Bill Mazeroski. 2,100 games, 2,000 hits. Average. 138 homers. Never had 200 hits. And his high for a season was 283. Yet he made the Hall of Fame. I guess 1960, batting for the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're playing the Yankees, Game 7. The score is tied 9-9 in the 9th inning, and he comes up and hits a Game 7 home run, and they walk it off, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are world champions. So that's what he's famous for, right? But is Bill Mazeroski have Hall of Fame numbers? 2,163 games. I'll be accurate. 2,016 hits. Doesn't get a hit a game. He's under it. 138 homers. Nothing to talk about. 853 RBIs. Not much. 254 doubles. Not much. 62 triples. How many years does he play? 56. So that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years. 2,000 hits. Doesn't get close to the 2,500 hits. And he has a 260 career batting average. I think the writers got this one wrong. But he's in. Bill, is it the defense? How did he get in? Was it the defense he had? Did he have the gold gloves? I don't know. It must be that home run. The score is tied 9-9 in the 9th against the Yankees, Game 7, 1960, and he walks it off with a home run. What a thrill that would have been. Is that how he got into the Hall of Fame? I don't know, boy. 2 left. 168 on the list. Harmon Killebrew. 256 career batting average. One of the lowest in the Hall of Fame as far as batting average. But do you think that Harmon Killebrew is Hall of Fame? Yes, if you saw him play. Why? I'll tell you why. Killebrew. Okay, here he is. Washington Senators, Minnesota Twins. 2,400 games and only gets 2,000 hits, but 573 home runs, a slugger, and 1,584 RBIs. That's Hall of Fame. 256 career batting average. His high, 288. The most hits he got in 1 year was 160. Yet Harmon Killebrew, yes, Hall of Fame. 573 homers. Listen to this on the homers. 42, 31, 46, 48, 45, 49, 25, 39, 44, 49, 41, 28, 26. Slugger. Yes, Hall of Fame. And number 169 on the list, I made it through my batting average rankings from number 1 to 169. Have you heard of this guy? Ray Chalk. He comes in at 169 with the lowest batting average in the Hall of Fame. 253 career. Ray Chalk. There's been debate on him, how he got in. He's a catcher, right? 1,700 games. Oh my God. 1,300 hits. 11 career home runs. 583 RBIs. He bats .253 career. His high was 283. And yet he made the Baseball Hall of Fame. How? He played in started in 1912 and went to 1929. That was the key. He's playing today, no way. He'd be average player, below average. But since he played in that era and they looked at him as a catcher, Ray Chalk, right? And they said, he's valuable. That's how he got in. I don't know, if I was a writer, maybe back then, there's not as many players to consider. If I was a writer back then, maybe I would be impressed with his catching skills. That must be it, because it's not on the stats. 11 career home runs. 11. 1,762 games. And he gets 1,345 hits. That means it's 253 career batting average. And he makes the Hall of Fame. Go figure. All right, I covered players 1 through 169. I gave you my impression on a lot of them, commented on a lot of them, whether I like them or not. I like the guys over 300. Yes. In fact, how many guys, here's a quiz question for you. How many guys are in the Baseball Hall of Fame with a career batting average over 300? I got it here. There's 90 of them. How many guys in the Baseball Hall of Fame with a career batting average over 320? 39. How many guys in the Baseball Hall of Fame with a batting average over 330? 23. How many in the Baseball Hall of Fame with a batting average over 340? Career. 13. How many guys in the Baseball Hall of Fame with a batting average over 350? 2. And how many in the Baseball Hall of Fame with a batting average over 360? 1. Ty Cobb. Here's another quiz question. How many guys in the Baseball Hall of Fame with 3 400 batting seasons? There's 3 of them. Ty Cobb, Roger Hornsby, and Ed Delante. How many guys in the Baseball Hall of Fame with 2 400 batting seasons? There's 2 of them. That just have 2 only. Obviously, Cobb, Hornsby, and Delante have 3, so they have more than 2, right? But I'm saying just 2. How many have just 2 400 batting seasons? There's 2 of them. Tris Speaker and Jesse Birkin. How many guys in the Hall of Fame that have a 400 batting average season to their resume? How many? Cobb, 1. So I'm looking over here because I have the list. Hornsby, 2. Delonte, 3. Billy Hamilton, 4. Ted Williams, 5. Harry Heilman, 6. Willie Keeler, 7. Bill Terry, 8. George Sisler, 9. Jesse Burkett, 10. Nap Lajoie, 11. Sam Thompson, 12. And Hugh Duffy, 13. 13 guys in the Hall of Fame have a batting average to their resume of batting 400 in one season. So batting average, one of my favorite baseball records. It's incredible. You can play 20 to 25 years and maintain a batting average respectable to get into the Baseball Hall of Fame. How about 366 for Ty Cobb? How about Tony Gwynn's 338? What I like about Gwynn, he plays 20 years and 19 of them over 300. Some of the other guys can have over 19 seasons. I think Eddie Collins is another one. Cap Hansen has another one. Cobb. Williams had about 18 300 batting seasons. I think Musial had about 17 of them. 300, that's the magic number in baseball as far as if you want 3 out of 10. 3 hits out of 10 at bats. How about 440 for Hugh Duffy? That's the highest recorded. Batting average. All right, that does this series of videos. The next one I'm going to do is the next series of videos, just talking baseball. That's all we're doing. How about hits in a season? Career hits. With the batting average, I mentioned a lot of the hits. So we'll go faster in that video. Then I'll get into RBIs. Then I'll get into runs scored. We'll get into doubles, triples, singles, slugging, on base, base on balls. Talking baseball. Thanks for watching. I'm out.